Hello, BookTube. I'm back with another tag. This one I found at Steven's channel, AlffBooks. Delightful channel. It's called the Currently Reading tag, and yet it does not at any point ask what you're currently reading. Kind of like that. Just a few questions. Thought we'd go right through them. Question number one. How many books do you usually read at once? Since I read so fast, it's usually one, except for books that are located in a certain place. I have a book in my satchel, for instance, for the subway and the buses. I have a book in the bathroom for my beauty visits. But aside from those, it's just the one in my hand. Question number two. How do you decide when to switch between them? Purely location. That's all there is to it. I will not take the main book that I am working on with me on the subway, and I won't take it into the bathroom. It stays with me everywhere else, though. Question number three. Do you ever switch bookmarks partway through a book? Usually not. The only circumstance in which I do is that about once or twice a month I go to Barnes & Noble and actually buy books at retail. Mass market, science fiction, romance, and mystery, because publishers usually don't send me review copies of mass markets. I don't quite know why. I'd be willing to bet it's a holdover attitude from when mass markets were cheap, and that no one has stopped and said, well, these things are $10 a piece now. And that you buy 5 of them in a month, you've spent half of $100. Whether that's the reason or not, I miss them. So periodically I go and get them, and when I do, invariably I start reading one on the way back home, and I use the sales receipt, which is kind of tacky. So if I do that, then when I get back I will switch out the bookmark for that to a real bookmark. Question number four. Where do you keep the books you're currently reading? Well, the location books stay where they are. Otherwise, it's with me. Like, the book I'm currently reading is with me, right nearby. Question number five. What time of day do you spend the most time reading? I read all day long in bits and chunks, but as I said in an earlier video, every night at midnight, I turn into a pumpkin. I turn off the phone, I stop texting, I turn off the computer, I go offline, I settle the dogs, and read without any distractions at all, without any hesitation, without any slowing down, nothing at all. And I usually do that until late at night. So that is the time that's for sure, and that's always regular. Question number six. How long do you typically read at a go? This is determined by my dogs. They're old and frail and ailing, and so they can't go forever without needing to go outside and go to the bathroom, without being in a little discomfort, without needing comforting, without needing medicine. It's usually entirely determined by whether or not they need me. If they do, then I'll stop and go to them and then come back. Question number seven. Do you read hardcovers with dust jackets on or off? I love this question. I have all the geeky questions in this tag. I read with them on. You only have to spend a little time browsing the dollar carts at the Brattle bookshop here in Boston to see the ultimate futility of being picky and precious about the shape of your books. Everything ends in a dumpster. Eventually, everything ends in a dumpster. I know it's heresy to say here on BookTube, but it's nevertheless true. So since I go through these things so fast, I don't bother putting the dust jacket somewhere and then forgetting where it is or rolling over on it, whatever. I read with on. Question number 8. What position do you mainly use to read? The position that God intended. Half recumbent, propped up on pillows, either in bed or on the couch. Question number 9. Do you take books you're currently reading everywhere? Oh, yes, I do. Cupped in my hand, everywhere. Question number 10. How often do you make Goodreads updates? BookTube. Someday, maybe a video on its own, we're going to have to talk about Goodreads. I want to talk to those of you who use it and love it. I have so many issues with it and conflicted reactions to it. I know that it's a force for good. I know that it motivates and binds a lot of you, and you love it. And I, at the very least, should make book updates of what I've read on Goodreads. At the very least, I should do that. I don't. I'm very spotty and poor. I'm a poor Goodreads user, and I want to know what the rest of you think about it. Maybe a whole video bringing up the subject. And let's see. We got all the way to the end. Question number 11. Who do you tag? I have 4 tags. I want to tag Josie at her eponymous channel, Josie. I want to tag a crisp new book channel called HomeWithMyBookshelf. I'll leave the link for it. I want to tag, let's see, Rachel at Rae of Books, because she's sharp as a tack. And I want to tag Justin at Fever Digo, another new channel. He's an aspiring author, which is certainly something we can all get behind here at BookTube. Wonderful, thoughtful channel. So those 4, but again, as always, all of you. I want to hear answers to all these questions. And I'll be back tomorrow with either another tag, because I'm tag happy, or with more books. Thank you, BookTube.